This is something new that I've never had before. What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. So hopefully y'all know about this phone right here. This is my iOS 9.0.2 iPhone 6s Plus that I got when it was still sealed from an eBay lot. Now in this box is basically its cousin. It's an iPhone SE still running iOS 9. I picked this up relatively cheap on eBay for only about 40 bucks. And it just showed up. I'm actually leaving for a trip tomorrow, so this is gonna be a not too long of a video because I still gotta finish packing. So I don't know what version this is running. I just know it's iOS 9 because it had the slide to unlock on it. But it comes with the original box. It's the 16 gig space gray. And I did send a message to the seller asking them not to update it, but I didn't hear anything back. So hopefully it's not updated. The SEs are actually quite rare on iOS 9 because they only came with, I believe it was 6 versions of iOS 9. They only were launched with iOS 9.3 and could be updated to 9.3.5. However, with a phone like the 6S or 6S Plus, those launched with 9.0, so they had a lot more time on iOS 9. Pulling it out of the box, we have a rather beat up iPhone SE box. Not used to seeing such a small box on my desk, but you can see it's an iPhone SE space gray 16 gig. Unfortunately, not the higher storage. My 6S Plus here is a 64 gigabyte unit, so that is definitely nice. So let me lower the camera here so you guys can see a little better. This is a little bit special because, like I said, I've never had one of these before, and this is completely new to the collection. So let's go ahead and take off the box cover. Inside is a pretty dusty and dirty iPhone SE. It's a little warm too. Now the one thing that I noticed in the picture is what it does have a missing camera glass, which is unfortunate. The good thing is I have a spare iPhone SE housing, so I should be able to swap them out and it'll be okay. It seems like it's dead. It also has a little chip in the screen up here, so I'll probably end up changing that out. Let's see if it has any charge. And it does. Let's see what comes in the box here. We got the insert, a lightning cable. I don't know if this is a real one or not, but it seems to be in okay shape. And we have the instruction booklets. Let's see if they stole anything out of here. Looks like it's got the Apple stickers. No SIM card ejector though. Go ahead and put the box how it's supposed to be here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the phone. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this off real quick. It seems to be in all right shape. And turning it on, as you can see, it is on iOS 9 as it has a slide to set up. Let's go ahead and slide to set up. Seems like it's prompting us to choose a Wi-Fi network immediately. Yep, of course we have that mysterious and annoying activation error on iOS 9. No bother in trying to fix that. I'm gonna go straight to my computer and bypass this. I don't know if it'll work. I'm on a new Mac, so I might have to do a couple things. But I'll be back in a couple minutes with an update on this. Alright guys, and just like that, we're back. Now I have good news and bad news. So the bad news is that this phone has an iCloud lock. Now I don't know how that's possible because this phone is on launch firmware. I had checked the IMEI prior to buying this phone and it had been shipped from the factory on iOS 9.3.5. And this phone is also on 9.3.5. Now, when I originally had it connected to the computer, I saw a custom name for the iPhone in the Finder app on my Mac. So I knew that there was some data on it. And then I had bypassed the activation and I saw that there was a Find My iPhone in the settings. I checked the IMEI and there was also a Find My iPhone on the IMEI. However, the good news is that it doesn't really matter since this phone needs to be activation bypassed. Now, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get in trouble here, but on legacy devices, when you bypass the setup, technically you can bypass the activation lock. However, this phone has been not used for about 10 years now, so I don't think it really matters. Anyways, this phone, I have reset it now, and it's on the home screen of iOS 9 because it's got the slide to unlock. Let's go ahead and slide to unlock. And here we are on the home screen of iOS 9, as you can see. Looking good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the settings page. And as I thought, we have a 16 gig iPhone SE running iOS 9.3.5. Go back here. There is no battery health, unfortunately, in iOS 9, so we can't check that. I'm gonna go ahead and set up Touch ID here to make sure it's working. And Touch ID is set up with no issues, so we can now use Touch ID like that. Now, one thing I want to say is that this seller did not have a very large description. They just said it was unlocked, so I will be reaching out to the seller and complaining because it's not cool to sell a phone that has an iCloud lock on it and not disclose it. They said it was unlocked, and I don't think they even tried to set it up because they just showed it on the setup screen and claimed it was reset and ready to go, which it obviously wasn't. But to be fair, it's not their fault because if I see a phone on the setup screen, I'm gonna assume it's all good to go. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the wallpapers that we had on the iPhone SE. We had the iOS 9, some other wallpapers here, some more wallpapers, and then I believe these were for the iPhone SE and the iPhone 6, I think. Some of these are for the iPhone 6. And this one was the one featured on the box image right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that one. And then we had some other stills, but pretty standard. And then we had the dynamic wallpapers as well. So pretty cool overall. I will be repairing this as well, but let's go ahead and get into what iOS 9 introduced on the iPhone SE. And I have its bigger brother here, the iPhone 6s Plus. And okay, the screen, I did not want you to go sideways. All right, there we are. So we have the two iOS 9 phones here, both extremely rare. So let's go ahead and go over what iOS 9 introduced and then what the iPhone SE introduced. So iOS 9 specifically introduced split view and also picture-in-picture, which was a game changer, as well as low power mode, public transit in the maps, news, an upgraded notes app, and it kind of just focused on performance and battery life. And it was a kind of like a minor update, just more of an optimizations update. And then, so the iPhone SE specifically, it had the hardware of the 6S, so it had the A9 chip, but it was in this smaller body from the iPhone 5S. I'll show, let me get a 5S out to compare here. So this is what a 5S looks like, and they are, you know, identical pretty much, except for the SE badge. And the 6S also, or the SE also had a noticeably better camera. It had the 12 megapixel camera that comes off of the iPhone 6S. So that was a game changer, and it was a very, you know, customer friendly phone. The SE only retailed for $399. And then there was a second generation in 2020 and a third generation in 2022, and now it has been replaced with the 16 and 17E. Now, one of my grandmother actually had an SE at launch, so I kind of have a liking for the SE in general, and my mom had an SE 2020 for the longest time before she upgraded to a 14 Pro. So I have a soft spot for the SEs and the 6Ss because my mom also owned a 6S shortly after launch. So both of these phones I am very, very familiar with, especially on their launch versions. I remember using them when they got them, so I remember iOS 9 very well. So that is kind of it for the video. Now I will actually be doing a restoration video on this phone because it's not in great shape. You can see there's some markings here, the camera lens is missing, the screen has some damage, and the chassis is overall just not in the best shape. So I will be doing a restoration video in the near future. I believe I have a black SE somewhere in the closet that I can go. Or, I mean, let me know, should I change the color on this? I have gold housings, I have rose gold housings. I can change this out, or should I do a fully custom build? Should I go and buy custom housing for this and do a custom color? Let me know what you guys think, but I will definitely be doing that in the near future. And I will also be reaching out to the seller, whether they can offer a partial refund or just acknowledge that mistake, or maybe they can even remove it from their iCloud if it's their phone. That would be amazing. So I'll update you guys when I do the restoration on this phone, what happened with that. But yeah, that's gonna be the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2026. Drop a sub, check out some of my other videos. I have the restoration video for this up. This was up a long time ago, and check out some of my other videos. I got a lot of new unboxings and whatnot, and I've got a couple more restoration videos coming soon, including a very special iPhone 5 right here. You can see this is not in good condition, but I ordered a donor for this, and this is on, not on iOS 6, but it's on another very special version. So this restoration will be coming soon, as well as many other things. So yeah, guys, stay tuned, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.